Good morning. This is Larry Edelson with my Uncommon Wisdom weekly market video update for Thursday, March 31st. I want to go right to the charts, starting with gold, because very simply there hasn't been a lot of action in the last few days, trading days, since I spoke to you last week, but there are some critical levels that I'm watching, and I want you to be very aware of them. So let's go right to the gold chart. This is the gold chart again that I've had up here for a while following the action in gold. You can see that over the last few days we did come back down and we've held this support level here. Unfortunately, however, though, we have not yet broken below it. This means a couple of things here. Since the cycles are now pointing down for gold, and I am short-term bearish on gold, we do need to see gold start falling below this support line very quickly. Otherwise, we will be faced with perhaps another rally up to the 1453 level and then another turn back to the downside. In other words, choppy sideways action. Again, I do not see the next leg up in gold unfolding until we see two consecutive daily closings above $1,453 in gold. That is possible, and if it does happen, I will certainly alert you, and we would then add to our existing long positions, lift hedges, and expect a rally up to at least 1,700 in gold, and quite possibly even 2,000 or slightly above 2,000 by June. But right now, all of my indicators still suggest that gold is going to roll over to the downside into a June low. It's very fickle right here, so I am watching things very closely, even though the gold market and the silver market have been choppy, but really sideways for the past week. They're both eating up time, and we should start to see a significant move develop within a matter of days. So you're going to want to stay very closely tuned into the gold market and to any updates I issue. Now, I want to go to the next chart, silver. Silver is doing pretty much the same thing that gold is doing in here. It did fall back a little bit below this support line here, and now it's meandering back and forth between this support line and this resistance line here. Silver is in a position where it could very easily roll over sharply to the downside. On the other hand, if that doesn't happen very quickly in the next few days, as with gold, we're likely to see another rally in silver. So please stay tuned to all of my work in silver as well. To the dollar index. Interestingly, the dollar index started to rally a little bit, but it really hasn't proven itself yet. Cycles do point higher in the short term for the dollar, and I would not be surprised to see a bounce in here. On the other hand, it's not acting that well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the dollar roll over to the downside here. In fact, the dollar is really key to a lot of markets right now, so I'm continuing to watch that very closely. Right now it's doing nothing but going sideways. It is eating up time, and it will reach a tipping point very soon in the dollar, just like we're going to see in gold and silver. Now to the Dow Industrials. Lots of sideways action here. Basically, we recovered from the Japan panic. We've recovered quite nicely here. We are now pushing 12,280. My line in the sand for Dow is roughly 12,335. If we can get a close above that, then we're probably going to see a move up to 12,800, maybe even 13,000. I will be lifting my short-term bearish forecast if that were to happen. But right now I'm leaning with several of my indicators to the Dow rolling over to the downside. Again, you need to stay very tuned into my updates here. If I publish anything on any of the signals I'm talking about in this video this week, you'll be certain to see them in a flash alert, and you'll know precisely what to do. Having said that, as quiet as the markets are right now, again, sideways type of markets, they are giving off subtle clues, and they are eating up time and reaching a tipping point. And I expect that tipping point for virtually all markets to occur. It could occur today, it could occur tomorrow, it could occur early next week, but I believe we're within days of a tipping point in all these markets. Chances are we'll see some kind of fundamental news event that actually becomes the trigger for the next move. But it's already pretty much built into these markets. They're in a way coiling up like a spring. They could jump higher, they could roll over and wilt to the downside. So again, this is Larry. Please stay tuned and have a very good weekend.